Welcome to Sinful's Horror Stories. Tonight's video features true horrifying Halloween stories to meet all of your spooky needs. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and be sure to subscribe now for future content. Sit back, relax, stay sinful. Story number 1. Halloween will never be the same after that night. My mom and dad went on vacation over the holiday this year. The year was 2010, and my friends and I planned a major Halloween hangout. We were all seniors in high school that year, and wanted our last Halloween before we go off to college to be a special one. My parents own a 2-story house on the lake in Lake Oswego, Oregon. The view is outstanding and the community is super chill and wealthy. I'm 17 and my friends and I are all girls. We love to party and just chill together. This Halloween was looking like a good-sized party of 60 to 80 people. The house has a small walkway that leads down to our boat dock and deck on the water. The main party was in the house, and we had some overflow down onto the deck as well. The party was in full swing by the time midnight rolled around. Halloween was on a Friday night this year, so no school the next day, thankfully. I was on my way to the bathroom on the second floor of the house. There is a large circular window that looks out onto the lake. I walked past the window and had to do a double take. I noticed a small boat pulling up onto the boat dock. This was very odd, as no one we knew would be coming from the water. We had tons of Halloween lights and decor up all over the exterior of the house, so it would have been very visible to people from across the lake. I quickly went to the bathroom and then looked out the window once more. The boat was mysteriously gone. I told my friends about the creepy potential encounter and they brushed it off. We go about our business and the party eventually winds down, and we start the massive cleanup of cups and food. I walked outside to our garage to throw a bag of trash away, and I was met by 2 men in ski masks. I didn't have time to scream. I was pulled into a large black van. I kicked and screamed with everything I had in my body. I am only a 5'2", 110-pound woman, so I didn't stand a chance. I was blindfolded immediately and gagged. The men whispered to each other and then took off kicking gravel everywhere. We seemed to drive forever and ever. Then the van came to an abrupt stop. The men yelled at each other, and then the doors opened and I heard gunshots. Pop, pop, pop. Apparently my friends saw the men take me, and they followed the van while on the phone with the police. I guess the lesson to be learned here is, no one is ever safe. I could have lost my life that night, but I was spared. Story number 2. I've been driving for Uber for the past 2 years. Last Halloween, I picked up a middle-aged couple for a concert date they were going to. At first glance, they seemed very much in love and easygoing. They entered my vehicle and immediately introduced themselves as Melanie and Steven. We exchanged pleasantries and were on our way. The concert they were attending was roughly 20 miles from their pickup point. The couple lived in a very rural area, and I had to travel down a 1-mile-long gravel road to get them. Once we got onto the main road, I set the course for the venue. 15 minutes into our rural drive, conversation waned greatly. This couple was very chatty and lovey-dovey at first, and now it was pure silence. I think to myself, hey, most people are quiet on my drives. 5 more minutes go by, and Melanie asked me to stop up the road about 2 miles ahead. I asked her why, and she said, please just do what I say. Red flag number 1. I never avert from my GPS and directions for anything. That is the golden rule, and it helps ensure my own personal safety. As we proceed closer to this sketch detour, Steven reminds me that the turn is coming up. I let them both know I will not be stopping for any reason, as there is no known homes or locations down said road. After I vocalize this, I get hit in the head with a blunt object. It doesn't render me unconscious, but it dazes me greatly. I'm able to maintain the car on the road and not swerve into a ditch. I can't see anything. I do the only sensible thing, and I slam my brakes on at 40 miles per hour, which sends these two forward towards the windshield. They never buckled up upon pickup. They are dazed and confused as I hop out of the car and pull out my sidearm. I should not share this, but I don't care. I have a legal permit to carry in my state and go nowhere without my pistol. The couple is caught totally off guard. I order them out of the car at gunpoint and leave them in the dust on this pitch black and rural road. Story number 3. Last year's Halloween started like every other one before. I'm a 25-year-old male and have my own home in Chicago, Illinois. Every year, my 2 older brothers fly in to visit and celebrate our favorite holiday together. Our childhood consisted of us raising ourselves and our parents either being at their multiple jobs or at the local bar. They were never really involved in our lives. We raised each other, if I'm being honest with you. My brothers and I are huge horror movie fans and Halloween buffs. We would fill our hours of childhood watching all of the classic horror and slasher films from the 80s and 90s. Anyway, back to the night in question. I have a startup software company that allows me the freedom to work from home, so this allows me to plan for our Halloween bash. Both of my brothers are active duty military, and they live for this time with the 3 of us. I picked up my brothers from the airport in Portland, Oregon, where I live. We stopped and had a huge breakfast at a local joint, and then headed to my place. I invited about 10 of our closest friends to celebrate the night of the Great Pumpkin. We had tons of great food and drinks to enhance our evening and our level of fun. I was cooking on my outdoor grill, and I noticed a group of people gathering near an abandoned lot. My brothers and I were smoking cigars and just catching up at this point. Some of our other friends were sitting gathered with us as well. Out of nowhere, I see what appears to be a muzzle flash. My brothers go into immediate soldier mode, and I tell our friends to all go inside. This abandoned lot was about 100 feet from my house, so very close in proximity. Another shot fires and the crowd of people scatter. A man gives chase and continues firing at a man in a creepy costume. The man in the costume starts running towards my place and screaming for someone to help him. The 3 of us try and assess this crisis situation in the moment, but this proves difficult. We do not know who did what, or have any frame of reference for this event taking place. The man runs up to my front door and starts screaming and banging on the door. My brothers are armed and ready for anything to happen. The shooter walks up behind the man in the costume and shoots him point blank. My oldest brother opens fire and shoots him in the kneecaps. I call 911, and later we come to realize the shooter was wanted for murder 1 charges and escaped out on bail. Story number 4. The tradition of throwing eggs at people on Halloween is, at best, a harmless prank. At worst, it can turn deadly. That was the case for Carl Jackson, a 21-year-old data entry clerk at Morgan Stanley. He usually never left the house on Halloween, as he thought it was dangerous. On October 31st, 1995, his worst fear became a reality, reports the New York Times. Jackson had decided to venture out to pick up his girlfriend's son from a party. Along the way, a group of teenagers pelted his car with eggs, so Jackson got out to confront them. But as he was getting back into his car, one of the pranksters pulled a gun and fatally shot him in the head. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe for future content. Email your true scary stories to thesinfulsavant@gmail.com. I will leave my link to my email in the description box below as well. I hope everyone has a safe, happy Halloween. Until we meet again, stay sinful.